Now for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've spent most of my adult life chasing down terrorists. I've gathered intelligence on their tactics and their plans. I know how they think, I understand their motivations, and I know what it takes to stop them. Our nation just experienced the worst terror attack on our homeland since 9/11. And while we mourn for our losses, we must also determine to do what's necessary to keep ISIS and other terrorists from ever doing this again. Let me first say that some of the suggestions coming from both sides of the aisle on how to stop terrorists are the wrong solutions. Banning guns is not going to stop terrorists. Banning Muslims from entering our country is not going to stop terrorists. So what will work to keep these murderers away from our shores? How do we keep terrorists off our country? How do we stop ISIS from radicalizing Americans they have never met and are thousands of miles away? The House has already taken several steps to do what's needed when we passed the ALERT Act by my colleague, Representative Loudermilk of Georgia, the Combating Terrorist Recruitment Act by my colleague, Rep. Fleischman of Tennessee, and the Counterterrorism Advisory Board Act by my colleague, John Katko of New York. The House has led in counterterrorism efforts spearheaded by one of the most effective committees in the House, the Committee on Homeland Security, led by my colleague from Texas, Chairman Michael McCaul. And I'm proud to serve on that committee. These 3 bills are before the House today in Chairman McCaul's Countering Terrorist Radicalization Act. These bills will ensure greater coordination between federal and local government agencies when it comes to seeing radicalization and stopping it before an attack happens. Our first responders are the tip of the spear when it comes to attacks like Orlando and San Bernardino. We need to do more to ensure they have the intelligence necessary to detect and stop these kinds of attacks. These bills will require DHS to use effective counter-messaging tactics to help keep Americans from falling prey to the propaganda spread by ISIS on social media. I've said it many times, but I'm going to say it one more time. If we get the right information to the right people at the right time, we'll keep terrorists off our shores and on the run. I speak from the experience of running successful counterterrorism operations during my time in the CIA. These bills are part of the solution to keeping terrorists from attacking the homeland. Let's take the fight to them, and I encourage my colleagues to vote for the passage of the Countering Terrorist Radicalization Act. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back to balance.